Welcome to Whose Turn Is It Anyway, a podcast all about our gaming group and our board game shenanigans. I'm Tambo, your current first player, and I am joined by Kerley.
Hey guys.
Dan.
Hey, how's it going?
And Chrissy.
Hello there.
Ninja Chrissy.
Oh, what? Yes.
Yeah.
Always.
Okay, how are we all doing?
Yeah, really good, thank you, mate. Just got back from Halls and, feeling keen and ready to go.
You see Mickey Mouse?
No, mate, not interested.
No, okay. But you did go Disney World, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did
How do you
ask
not
if
see
you
Mickey
touched
Mouse,
his
even
willy.
if you're not interested?
Mate, there is a chance that I saw something with Mickey Mouse on it.
Okay.
Actually seeing Mickey Mouse, no.
Oh, okay.
No. You've got to go out of your way to see that fecker.
I asked if you touched his willy and you said yes.
Only to be filthy with you. I was flirting.
You were
Behave.
Oh, darling. Thanks. That's cute.
You all right then, Dan? All good?
I'm good. I'm very good. I am all Valentine's up because this is going out obviously after that, but we're close to Valentine's and I'm very busy with work because people like to do that whole thing where they have a meal and then they, have shenanigans afterwards. Probably a cup of tea and a cigarette.
So you got a gig tomorrow night?
I've got 3, yeah.
3?
Three tomorrow, yeah.
Jesus. One in the day, one in the afternoon, and one in the evening?
One at lunch, one in the afternoon, one in the evening.
Wow.
Yeah, and then collapse, and then Civ 6 day after.
Yes, baby.
Yes, sad.
Yes.
Yes.
And Chrissy, all good?
Yes, good. Thank you, my friend. Yeah, lovely. It's been a long week. I'm all finished now. I got tomorrow off. Being Valentine's Day. All the loving happening and whatnot. So yeah, all good.
I have a question for you, Chris. It's just come to my mind. Do you actually own any Ninja products in your house?
Do I own any Ninja product?
Yeah.
I have a Ninja air fryer.
Oh, thank goodness.
Does that count?
So it does definitely count, yes.
I was worried that you didn't, even though everyone calls you Crispy Ninja. I worried. I was concerned.
No, it's all good. Don't worry. I've got you back. Claire has been wanting me to get one of those Ninja knife sets as well. You know, the ones that you put them in and they auto sharpen when you take them out?
No.
It's amazing. It's like Christmas list for next year kind of thing.
We've reached
Sounds
middle-aged.
Yeah.
We've reached middle-aged.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all I want.
Yeah.
I've reached that quite a long time ago, mate.
Right, so let's move on to let's talk about Hex. Okay, so let's go with Dan. What have you been playing recently?
I have been dying to get this to the table for ages, and I managed to at the weekend, which is Skyrise by Roxley Games. After being a avid fan of Brass, I wanted to try other things that Roxley had done, so I bought a copy of Skyrise. It's nothing like Brass. No, it's really not. It's kind of got like a Bioshock Infinite-esque kind of feel because you're building up skyscrapers in the sky. And it's kind of an auction kind of style game where you're placing buildings that have numbers on them. So you place a building with a certain number in a certain neighborhood on the board, and then the person to your left will then do the same, and the number of building that they place must be higher than what you placed. Or they can pass. On a 4-player game, you keep going around to the table, and if you're basically the last person standing with the highest numbered building, then you win that neighborhood. The game plays in 2 halves, similar to Brass, where you have Era 1 and Era 2. In Era 1, each of the neighborhoods and each of the kind of the tiles that the board creates are scored based on how tall the buildings are. So the tallest building will get the most points, because there's 3 different sizes. There's small, medium, large, and also you get like a wonder building as well. And it's like a special one-off building that you can pop down and it'll give you like a special ability. I've got the deluxe edition. I spent like 100 quid on this thing. Wow. So I'm like, I need to get this to the table more. I've only played it like sort of 3 times. And the components are stupidly over the top for quite a light, medium weight game. It's not very heavy at all. Anyone can pick it up. It doesn't take long to teach. It's like 20 minutes teach and it's done. Nice. But you can probably play it. You can probably speed play it in about an hour. But it's nice. It's very pretty to look at. Components are really good quality. I like the fact that it doesn't take long to play. Yeah. Skyrise. Loved it.
Good. Yeah, sounds really good. Yeah. My cup of tea. Chrissy, what have you been playing recently?
So yeah, so I played over the weekend Aliens, Another Glorious Day in the Core with Kerley, Rob, and my mate Alex. So that was really good. I played it probably about 3 or 4 months ago, and I played it wrong then, where I made it far too easy. And this time we played it again, and I played it wrong. I made it far too easy.
I heard, Rob told me in the toilets, of all places, that you guys had managed to play it wrong.
Yes, so after round 3 on the first scenario, you are supposed to start spawning aliens. You meant to draw 3 hidden encounter cards.
You did one.
And we did one every round. So we're like, this is not too bad. There's like 3 or 4 aliens around, and this is fine. It was supposed to be like 10 to like 15 aliens per round, and it's meant to get nuts real fast. But yeah, it was fine. We actually didn't do amazing. We did all manage to escape, but we all like the exhaustion deck, which is like basically your lifespan of the game, how long it lasts, based on how many cards you draw and how many you discard and get rid of. That deck was actually really quite low by the time we got to the end anyway. So if we did play it normally, I think we probably would have lost just by burning out of cards and just running short of stamina, basically. So all your characters can't do anything to the point where you can't shoot, you can't move. You're just like, well, now I'm going to get eaten.
Playing that game, I would worry that I was cheating on Nemesis.
It's fair. It's they are similar in ways, but they are different in different ways.
I disagree. I don't think they're similar.
Do you not?
No, not. I think Alien is similar, isn't it? I believe that's similar to Nemesis, the Alien board game.
Because there's quite a
different.
few.
There's a lot of aliens. I mean, Nemesis is all right. There's a few bad guys turn up, isn't there? But Aliens is full on. They were like
it's supposed to when you play it properly.
Yes. Because when we played it, it was loads of aliens, and you must have played it right.
Yeah, I did then. Yeah,
and that was really hard.
Yeah, it gets nuts really fast when you do it properly. But
is it fully co-op or is there a defector?
No, it's fully co-op.
Nice.
Yeah, it's fully co-op. So we had all the standard movie characters are there. So like you got Frost and Hudson and Ripley and the little girl. I can't remember her name.
Newt.
That's the one. Thank you. So yeah, you end up. The first mission is trying to find her because she's lost, and you've got to go and search around for her. So
I probably
found
enjoy
her, and
that.
then she immediately panics and runs away from you, leading more aliens towards you, which is great until you calm her down. But I think we managed to end up barricading her in a room, just sit there for a minute while we deal with this chaos that's happening. So no, but no, it was really really good. So we played it wrong, but it was still good fun. So
I expect Rob liked it because it was easy, wasn't it?
If I don't play it again for another 3 months, I will try to write down like on my notebook of remember these special rules is to actually play it correctly with the correct number of cards. So
I didn't miss what you just said then about Rob.
Yeah, he probably liked it because it was easy.
Oh yeah, no, he loves
loved
it. He loves it when it's easier.
Yeah, we had to have another chat with him about what is it? If you're not cheating, you're not trying hard enough. And I told him that it's not the case, Rob.
Yes,
because he was literally even a game that we were absolutely hammering. He was still trying to like get people to bend the rules. Bless him.
He loves it.
Bless him. Love you, Rob.
He loves it. Oh, nice. Yeah, I do love that game.
Yeah,
I want to play it again, by the way.
Okay. It's in my collection. Don't worry.
Cool. So I'll go next then. I recently, a couple of weeks ago, I played. I'm going to keep to the theme as well. Stranger Things, the board game. Okay, it was not an amazing. I don't think it was an amazing game. But it was good. It was a bit of fun. So everyone knows Stranger Things, I'm assuming.
Did you play it upside down?
When there is an upside down part on the board, yes.
Nice.
So
not physically upside down like that.
The bottom half of the board is the upside down world, and obviously, and then the top part is the town. I can't remember the name of the village. I am a big Stranger Things. Hawkins. Yep, it's the Hawkins town. So you can choose between all the characters. Most I say all the characters. There's a lot, isn't there? But the main characters, all the kids, and the mum, and the sheriff. They all have their own little ongoing abilities. So basically the game is very simple. You have 5 cards in your hand, and in these cards they have a number between 1 and 5, I believe. And you spend these points to add to your movement. And when you get to a spot, you have all these spots have these stack of tokens with numbers that are hidden. And you've got to beat the power of the stack to get the ability of the area you're in, basically. So you've got to decide how many numbers you're going to play, like between 1 to 5, and just put them down. But the whole timing of the game is there's a big stack of cards, and when you go through it, the whole stack 3 times, it's game over, and you haven't done your objective, which is find Will in the first scenario. So that's the idea. So you've got to think how many cards you're spending. If you go through that deck really quick, you're going to go through the game really quick. But it's also the game in balance. If you have 2 players, you're obviously doing more turns, but if you have 4 players, you've got more characters on the board to go around quicker. But obviously you're going to go through the deck 4 times as fast. So that's the balance mechanism. It's quite clever. It's very hard. First couple of games I played it, it was very hard. We never did it. But then once you get used to the event decks, every time you, after everyone's had a go, every time you've had a go, you draw a bad event card basically, and then you read it. And then once you've gone through the deck once, it speeds up. So then you're drawing 2 bad event cards. So you go through this event deck quite a lot for the whole game. So you kind of know what the cards are kind of like after a while. And there's always these No, Seven's ability, you can just sometimes you can get rid of these event cards. And you know which ones, once you've got the system in place in your brain, you kind of know how to beat the game. So it's kind of there's not much non-replay ability on it, I don't think. But I've only done the first season, which is season 1, and you flip the board and you got season 2. So for season 1, you got the one. What's the creature in it? The Demigorgon. That's it, Demigorgon. You never can kill it, and he's hard as hell. But he always chases you around the board. You got 2 little vans from the people who are always the agency, whatever it was. They're always chasing you as well. But there's the Demigorgon in the first one. I haven't played season 2. Season 2 is obviously the second season with all the little Demigorgons, the little ones.
Yeah.
So there's more of them. So I haven't played it yet. But that's the 2 scenarios you do on the whole game. I enjoyed it. It's good fun. It's worth playing if you haven't played it for a few times. And it's played quickly as well. You can do it in an hour.
Nice.
Yeah. Nice. Very nice. Yeah. Cunnington.
So we attended a very lovely 12-hour board gaming marathon at the weekend. And at said marathon, well, we played a lot of Slay the Spire, but I'm given to understand JP's talked about that one, so I'll give that one a miss. But I played Bag of Dungeons 2. For me, it was reminiscent of the tiny little kind of games where they just fit a lot of game into a small little box. It was really good fun. So if you like dungeon crawlers, probably something a little bit lighter. What do we have it done in? Like an hour and a half maybe, but that was probably just because we were taking our time.
It was about roughly that time, yeah.
Yeah.
But we did spend a lot of time faffing, and then we died with
That's
objects
the
halfway
fun.
across the board, and then you have
That's
to
the
trek all the way back
fun.
to get them, and then start again, go again. So no, it was good. It was good.
For those of you who don't know, it's kind of an action point based dungeon crawler. So you got so many action points depending on what character you've got. I think mine had 5, and you can either move, attack, or explore. Basically, that's pretty much all you can do. There's not a lot that you can actually do action point wise. So they keep it really sort of streamlined in that way. And the idea is you pick up items. When you explore, you meet monsters, you defeat said monsters, and the idea is you've got to collect 4 of these. Is it 4?
It was 4 seeds.
4
in
seeds,
this
yeah.
one, yeah.
And the idea is in that scenario that you've got to then pick up all the seeds, drop them to certain locations, and then out spawns an evil guy. I can't remember what he was. Can you illuminate?
I can't remember what he was, but he's just
Can't
some
remember.
massive Titan thing that just wanders the map and just stomps your face as soon as he gets anywhere near you.
He was. You could understand that you could potentially beat him, but to be honest, he could one shot you no problem at all. So it's one of them that the idea is to avoid him. That I thought it was really interesting, especially at the end. We got all the seeds together, and then he basically heads towards you in quite a logical manner. So you head towards the nearest person, and you could trap him if you were clever enough. So you could bait him in going one way, and then someone else nips in behind, and I thought it was quite an interesting little end to a game, to be honest, where it kind of goes from a kind of a fairly standard dungeon crawler where you're just wandering around beating stuff up, collecting items and happy days, to kind of almost like a not a hidden enemy type game, but like a game like Nyctophobia, if you remember that one, where you are running around the forest and the killer's trying to catch you, and you're trying to evade them, Don't know if there's an official title for those type of games, but basically, reminiscent of that, basically, where there's someone
1 versus 4, isn't it? One hidden.
Was it is Left 4 Dead similar to that, where you got one murderer or something, or is that a different franchise I'm thinking of, computer game?
You're thinking of Dead by Daylight.
Dead by
was just
Daylight,
about to say,
exactly.
Yeah, Dead by Daylight.
Yeah, so it's that kind of thing right at the end, but it doesn't last very long. But I thought it was quite an interesting way to end that scenario anyway. But yeah, I mean, obviously its limitations. It's not very complicated, and it is like random dice bullshit basically. But I found it fun. Yeah, I thought I could see the potential in it, and just a bit of a laugh with your mates, and don't take it too serious. I enjoyed it. Yeah, so I would recommend it for those of you who probably want to, not spend too much, have a nice little box to sort of stash away, and then have a bit of a laugh with your mates for an hour.
It's a great game. I've played it a few times.
Yeah, I think it's only like 20-30 quid, if that, on Amazon. So it's pretty cheap.
Yeah.
It's good just for, they say just whack it out every so often and go, let's have a bit of a dungeon crawl today, and away you go. So it's good.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
It's a great little travel game. You need to travel with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, love it. Cool. So that's all that done. So let's get on to the main topic. So on our main topic today, we are going to be discussing board games that are based on movies from movies and TV series, basically. So all the different types of board games we played or there are, and how they relate to the TV or movie. So I'm going to go around the table with a quick question. This is going to bring everyone. What's everyone's favourite movie? Kerley?
That's actually a kind of an awkward question.
I know.
Because my favourite movie has no board games attached. My second favourite movie has absolutely...
It doesn't matter if it has got board game.
What is your favourite movie?
My favourite movie is Gladiator.
Okay.
Oh, fair play.
Yeah, by miles. But
Wasn't expecting
Lord of the Rings is my second favourite, and that's spawned about a bazillion board games, so, you know.
Which one?
Which one's my favourite of the three?
Yes.
That is a
Or
tough
Hobbits,
question.
if you conclude them, I suppose.
No.
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 I don't mind The Hobbit, but it's on a different level, that's for sure. Yeah, probably if I had to say, it'd probably be Return of the King.
Right.
Just the
Nice.
Battle of Pelennor Fields is epic.
Yep. Nice. Very nice. Dan, quickly, favourite movie?
T2.
Terminator 2.
Always.
Always.
I love it.
I love it.
It's got everything. I love it that much. It is my outside of Star Wars, which I love Star Wars a lot, but my favorite movie of all time is Terminator 2.
Very nice.
It stacks up to its age. I love it.
Chrissy?
I think I've discussed it before. It's the first Iron Man.
The first Iron Man
First
ever.
Iron Man. Yeah.
Your
first
favourite
Iron Man.
movie ever is the first Iron Man.
Yeah.
It was amazing when it came out.
It was good.
It
Yeah.
was the movie that got me into superheroes properly, and
Yeah,
I've
me.
never looked back. So yeah, I have to keep it at the top there.
Very nice. Okay. Mine is Die Hard.
Is it a Christmas movie?
Oh, yes.
You think it's a
Oh,
Christmas
of course
movie?
it's a Christmas movie.
Can you watch it outside of the Christmas period?
Do you know what? You can, yes.
Yeah.
You could. But you can watch any Christmas movie without a Christmas period. Right?
You can, but
But you don't. No, actually, no. You
Home
can't.
Alone.
No, actually, that's a lie. You can't actually, no. We're going to a whole new topic there, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, so there we are. So let's go around just having to talk about what's everyone's favourite board game from a movie then. Let's do the favourite. We'll start with the favourite. We won't necessarily go on to the other ones. We'll go to other ones in a minute. So Dan, do you have a favourite board game that's based off a movie? Or from a movie? Or a TV show?
No. And the reason being is because I find that there isn't that many movie franchise tie-ins to a board game that I can go, this is absolutely stunning. I haven't found one yet.
That you've played?
That I've played. I mean, there's some that are loosely based on movies that stack up, like Nemesis, for example.
Yep.
Being a good one. Dead of Winter is very kind of Walking Dead-esque, which had its time. It's not a bad board game. It's not terrible. But because I'm more of a Euro-based gamer, then I find that there isn't many games out there that tick that box for me.
Okay.
At least not yet.
Not yet, no. Okay, fair enough. Callington, do you have a favourite kind of... Well, I say it doesn't have to be your favourite game either, guys. It's just your favourite game that you like from a movie or...
Yeah, I've actually got a few, so it's actually pretty. I'm not going to go through them all now because I know we'll have a chance later on, but it's actually really difficult to pick one. But I'm going to go with War of the Ring.
I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah. Well, I played it. I think it's great.
Yeah. I think overall, it just, even when I was a kid, I was playing Risk, it just brings back memories of that. It's just a little bit more, I don't want to say adult because Risk is adult. Like I've been getting back into the base game of Risk lately on PC, which is really interesting. But so there's some really interesting strategies in that. But it's just a more complicated version of Risk with Lord of the Rings thematics, which is always going to go down well, So yeah, I absolutely love it. Loads of replayability. All I really lack is someone else who really loves it, who wants to play it a bit more regularly, to play it with, really.
Yeah. I remember playing it, and it's very thematical to the movie, I think. Because they're hidden the movement from the hobbits, and you do the hobbits, and you've got to be really sneaky. And then you've got the whole army just breeding all around you. The old Saruman army, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, but there's kind of 5 different armies in the game, which is nice. And even if you don't count the expansions where they introduce characters and stuff like that, but you've got the obviously Isengard and Sauron's armies split up with kind of the Easterlings as well. So it's kind of and like you say, it couldn't be more thematic. It really, there's basically 2 different win conditions for each side, and as you can imagine, for the good guys, you can either take a couple a reduced amount of the of the Sauron or Isengard's forces, their fortresses, for a win, or you can get Frodo to Mordor, get him to Mount Dune, and get him to put the ring into the mountain. So there's there, and obviously from the evil guy's point of view, you can either basically conquer a certain amount of Middle Earth, so therefore kind of win in that way, or you can corrupt Frodo to it's 12 corruption, and then he is considered he's gonna the bat for the other side. Love it. Incredibly thematic. One of the most thematic games, I think.
Sounds it. I've never played it. Sounds really thematic.
The only problem is it's not a I wouldn't say it's an easy get into game. It's a bit like, reminds me and Dan are going through a Civ obsession at the moment, Civilization computer game. And it's similar to that in the fact that you can't just idly play Civ. You can't just idly play War of the Ring. It's going to take some learning and concerted effort to get good at that game, And until you get good, it's a little bit like, reminds me of golf. It can be a little bit unpleasant.
Yeah.
The learning curve is not very good. So, this is the game that I've had discussed about in the pod. So forgive me if you've been listening for a little while, but I've kind of decided that my usual kind of, I will have no mercy, and kind of beating people up as much as I can, because I feel like if I let someone win, then I feel like I'm not doing them justice. So if they do actually beat me, they do it on their own terms. Yeah. I think that has got to be an exception to that rule, and that's what I've decided, because you could give someone a very unpleasant day if you whip them.
I remember going, you whipped me, and I never played, so I loved it.
Yeah, well, mate, to be honest, that
was my first game.
That's probably just to do with you approaching it and you really wanted to know it.
Yeah.
I think it would put off a lot of people. Yeah. And that's kind of the I want to get people into it, and I think the best way is not giving them a shoe-in.
Yeah. Because it's quite old now, isn't it? It's been out for a while now.
Oh, yeah. I mean, God, I'd be struggling to say when, but, I mean, it's got to be knocking on for 10 years old. Oh. At least. So I'd like to look, actually, because obviously I only got into the hobby properly. I mean, I've been playing Risk since I was a kid, but properly getting back into it in 2016, 17. So, I know it was around then, and I know it wasn't new then.
It's quite older than 10
years,
I think.
It might be 2010 or 11, but I doubt it's older than that. But, yeah, I'd have to have a look.
Nice.
Yeah. I thought you'd say War of the Ring.
Yeah, same.
Chrissy, do you have a game?
For me, then it will be taken to the stars, and we'll go for Outer Rim.
Okay,
Star Wars.
Okay,
if that's all right with you.
Yes.
Yeah, that's all right with you. That's fine.
It's kind of based on the Star Wars franchise, so I would say, it is based on the Star Wars franchise. Sorry, kind of.
It's based on the Star Wars universe.
But the actual movie, it's about smugglers. So
becoming the galaxy's greatest smuggler. Yeah. So it's brilliant. I think it's, in my opinion, it's really thematic. Obviously, all the main characters are there.
Yep.
They're all there in some way, shape, or form as a bounty that you must collect, or someone that you can play as. Mm-hmm. All the ships are there. Obviously, all the upgrades and things. All the planets. It's just great. I just love it.
It's fair. It's got a mixture of all of them, hasn't it? It's even got the Rebels, the Ghost ship. I love the Ghost. Is it called the Ghost? It is,
I think it's called the Ghost.
Yeah, I think it is.
So I love that game. I play it as much as I can all the time. It's just fantastic. Just going around this massive board with so many objectives that you can do. There's so many different ways that you can become the greatest smuggler.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's brilliant. It's fantastic.
Yeah, no. It's a good choice. I love Outer Rim. So we're going to keep on the Star Wars theme then. My favourite one has to be Star Wars Rebellion. I know we've talked about it a lot on the pod, but the Rebellion Star Wars, the 1v1 is fantastic. I love that game. Even though I get so emotional playing it.
Mm-hmm. Emotional?
Honestly, I get so upset, but then I end up winning it, and then it's like a big roller coaster. But it's just like a bit like War of the Ring, isn't it? I say a bit like it's kind of the base thing. You're either the rebels, who you are just getting outweighed by the Emperor, who's just ruling the whole of the Star Wars universe, all the Outer Rims and all that, and they're just building ships. You've got this big build queue. You've got like 5 rebel ships being built, but you've got like the Death Star being built, and then on the evil side. But the whole feel of that is brilliant, I think.
Yeah, I totally agree, actually. That is honestly one of the few games that for me stands up to War of the Ring as far as thematics go.
Yeah.
And I really love it as well. It's in my top 10, I would say. But yeah, I totally agree too.
Yeah.
It's Twilight Imperium 2-player with the Star Wars skin, in my opinion. It shares a lot of the mechanics.
It shares some.
But it is good. It is good.
There's loads of, I really like the fact that you've got like the hidden element adds a lot to it for me.
Yeah.
And then you add in the character missions and like stealing characters and things like that. I think it's
Yeah, you've got the game of cat and mouse in there. That build queue that you mentioned is really quite good, and it's decent how you can see what you've got coming through, but so you can see the enemies as well.
Yeah.
Great game. Yeah,
all the pieces on it as well look all cool. All
Yes.
the units and all the ship builds, they look so cool.
Desperate for a paint job, but they are really nice.
Yes, if you've got the time.
Yes.
But it's definitely one of my favourites. So we're just going to keep going around. So has anyone got any games they want to mention? So movies.
Well, I mean, I've got absolutely flipping buttloads, mate. How many do you want?
Before you start,
just start. Huh?
What was the year for War of the Ring?
Well, I was going to say let's place our bets, guys, because I did look it up. Go on.
2011.
Chrissy?
2010 then.
I go 2009.
Dan wins.
Yeah.
2011.
Well done, Dan.
Yeah, I thought it was older than 10, but not quite like 15, 16.
Well, older. Nice. Oh, I see. Older than 10. I thought you meant 2010.
No. 10 years old. 10 years old. Yeah, 2011.
Yeah,
the game is that old and still holding up. Just it's got to be good.
Yeah, definitely.
It's like because Caverna came out in what? 2014, 2013.
Again, it was before I started playing, so it could have been 50 years ago, as far as I know.
But the fact that it's over a decade old, that Caverna's over a decade old.
That old. I didn't realise.
Yeah, I think it's. I got to look it up. I think it's 2014, and it's that old that it's still it's standing up. It's one of the older games that I've still got in my collection that I still get played at least once or twice a year. That I really enjoy. It's going to bug me. And I got to look it up.
Nice.
2013.
Very nice. Yeah, so very good. So has anyone got any other games you'd like to mention? So Kerley, as you said, we'll just keep going through some games that we played that are based off movies.
Yeah, I won't go too crazy, but I'll just remind people about a couple that we've probably talked about in the past then. So Battlestar Galactica, amazing.
Yeah,
right?
for the series.
We've got that one booked in a few weeks, actually, as a kind of a nod to Chris.
Yes.
Yeah. So we've got that one booked in a few weeks. Still stands up as my... I don't know. It's actually pretty close, but yeah, I do love that hidden enemy type. Is it? It really is close. I think Unfathomable fits a couple of issues with it, but yeah, love it. Love how thematic it is. It feels so thematic.
I've got to be honest. I never actually watched the series before I played that game.
Yeah,
and then when we played it, and then I played the game and I watched the series. Yeah, and I loved it. Yeah, and it's definitely thematic.
I watched the series, but not back in the day, but I watched it maybe 8 or 9 years ago, so well before I played the board game, and it was so enjoyable.
Yeah,
it's never been a game because I have played it and I didn't enjoy it, but I don't think that was the game. I think it was the teach. It was a long time ago when it kind of was first released, and I think the person who was teaching me hyped the game up to be something crazy. Didn't teach it very well. It wasn't going in, and also I hadn't watched the TV series, so I felt like I was on the back foot with the rest of the players who had already seen it and kind of knew what some of the references were. But I would go back to it and give it another go.
Yeah, I think you should. But yeah, so a couple more really quickly. 2 that I've played loads. So I was going to say Nemesis, so that's good, even though it's based on aliens. Let's face it. So Dune, actually.
Yeah.
So Dune Imperium. I don't think it's quite as thematic, if I'm totally honest, but it's still like an amazing game based on films, or books specifically. But yeah, I think Dune is an amazing game. They do get lots of thematics in there. They squeeze in what they can, but at the end of the day, it's difficult with I would say a worker placement really to get too much theme in there. But I think they do a decent job with the whole battles and stuff like that. On Arrakis, and
it does feel a bit pasted on.
It is a little bit, but I don't think. I think for me, you kind of struggle with worker placements to do good theming.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, I think people have done it, but I think it's the most difficult genre, or one of the most difficult genres to actually do. And I think they do a reasonable job, but I think you can't put it anywhere near War of the Ring or Star Wars.
No.
So the only other one I wanted to say that I'm looking forward to playing that I haven't played yet, but is very highly rated, is The Last Kingdom, based on the TV series, based on originally by books by Bernard Cornwell. Right. But yeah, loosely it was released, I think, in the aftershock of Vikings TV series. So it's a similar sort of theming. Set in that sort of same time period about a young English noble who is captured very young as a child by the Vikings, and how he grows up as a Viking, and then he's got this kind of mixed personality. And yeah, it had 5 very successful seasons, and they released a board game which literally looked naff as anything, with like the pictures of the actual TV series on the front and stuff. It looked naff, but it's really highly rated, and I thought, actually, I really like the TV series, and it's so highly rated, reviewing incredibly well, that I thought I'd give it a go. So it's still in shrink wrap, I'll be honest, but I thought I'd give it a go.
Did you buy it?
Yeah,
because we had a couple of the copies at the marathon last year, and they got one. But yeah, you look at the front of the cover, and it's like this looks like a complete cash in. This does. But I've not heard that it was highly rated. It's
very
fun,
highly
that.
rated,
Hidden
very
gem.
highly rated.
Oh, okay.
So I'm looking forward to giving that a go.
Yeah, nice. Okay. Any other games, guys? Keep going.
Game of Thrones. If you're talking about TV series,
Yes, 100%. Yeah.
Game of Thrones second edition. Although it's, I couldn't answer the question rigidly with what my favourite tie-in is. Game of Thrones has a special place in my heart that I can't put in a top 10 because it's created so many good, some bad, but mostly good board game memories that it just has a special place. It's just kind of reserved. There's a little tiny list that's in there. TI's in there, and Ticket to Ride's in there. That's it. It's just those 3. But Game of Thrones, it was one of the first games that I had played with a group of people that created so many memories for years to come. And when it still comes out now, it's still creating memories because the game is so kind of cutthroat, but also it's different every time it plays out. Isn't that right, T?
Yes, very different. Yeah. You have good games and you can have bad games, Dan.
That's right.
Yes.
Absolutely. You'd know all about that.
Yes.
Yes,
Or you
you
can
would.
have just games you can sit back and just move around me, can't you, Kerley? And just no one can test you and then to the end. And I enjoy
or you
it.
could just have games where you just kick everyone's ass and win, or you
Yeah.
could just have games where you're Tambo and you suck balls.
Yes.
Yeah, it's one of those.
Hey,
Don't worry, T. I'm in the same.
I was
boat as
being
you.
picked
I
on
didn't
by
get shooting
3
all the
people,
time.
and I couldn't move, so I did what I could.
Maybe you sowed what you reaped what you
What you
sowed.
sow. Right, okay.
So you know.
But the Game of Thrones, like you say, Dan, I think that's one of the is thematic to the series because of the backstabbing and the banter around the table, and you feel like you're doing well and you're not doing well. It's just great.
There's one thing that game is missing, and that is a third edition.
Okay.
It needs another go. I think it needs another. It's not. I mean, there are flaws with the game as it stands, which they did iron out quite a few with the last expansion and with a couple of the print-on-demand packs that they released before that. But I think it needs another one. I think it's time.
I agree with that.
I'm sure. Hopefully they'll do. We could always just ask, couldn't we?
Well, I mean, the problem is with those, and this is a problem with all of the types of games that we've got here, guys, as well, that we're talking about, is the fact that you usually have a limit on the amount of time that you have that franchise, the ability to make it for.
That's true.
So I'm wondering whether Game of Thrones, they've still got the actual right to make it. Maybe. I don't know. But that might be part of the issue, because if they have to re-buy it, it'll probably be cheaper, but there are going to be less people buying it. Is it going to be worth it? So I don't know.
I think
Maybe a consideration.
Without sort of digressing too much, I think since FFG have been taken over by Asmodee, I think because the company now has kind of got so much larger that they've either just let licenses expire or they've not continued to pursue them. I mean, if you look at FFG's current catalog set now, they've just recently released some information that they're going to turn quite a lot of the expansion packs for a lot of their games into legacy versions.
Oh, okay.
So they're kind of killing off some of their kind of current stock and making it kind of a legacy stock, inverted commas, which makes me think, well, either they're going to bring out new stuff for their existing franchises like Marvel, the Marvel franchises, and that's mainly in the LCG community that they're talking about with those legacies. But they haven't really brought anything out board game wise for a while. Not really. I mean, the last thing that they were talking about was a bit of Arkham Horror, and Arkham Horror, the card game, and then not really much else. Twilight Imperium Falls expansion. When was the last time that FFG brought anything out? I mean, I can imagine if they did just drop a bombshell and went, right, here's a new edition of Civilization, here's a new edition of Game of Thrones, here's a new this, that it would blow up. I think. About time they did.
So please do. Yes.
Please.
Yes. Yes. Chris, you got any others kind of games? Want to give us another one?
Yeah, one of my favourite ones is a Lord of the Rings one. It was Journeys in Middle Earth. I love that game.
Not Kerley's favourite.
Not Curly's favourite. I
No.
love that game. That game was fantastic. That was
We were just talking about it on the way out,
were talking about
on
on
the
the
journey,
drive
and
over.
we thought Kerley didn't give it a chance because I wasn't.
I had difficulty flipping selling it after Chrissy spilled lemonade all over
That's why I
it.
loved it so
And
much.
you did mention
I got so
that.
excited. I just couldn't. I couldn't hold a glass still.
I still remember the messages I got when I tried to sell it to that guy.
Sorry, Brian. But no, that game I really thoroughly enjoyed. Out of what we, obviously the few scenarios that I played of it, I thought it was brilliant. I thought it was really on par. Like all the characters, obviously, all the main characters was there. Building your deck of cards to go with it, to obviously to play your actions and things that you can do.
It's from the app, isn't it?
It was from the app as well, I think.
So that's the whole difference part of it. It was good.
Yes, it was. Yeah, so
It was very story driven, very very story driven.
yeah, so that's one of the ones. One of the other ones I've only ever played once, but it's stuck with me for a while. Was Legendary Encounters, the Aliens edition.
That was a good one.
I was
That's
gonna say
good.
Legend
Yeah,
Rush,
that
I
was
loved
good.
Yeah, that's again like a sort of like a deck builder, but based on like there's like a map, and the alien puts down a certain series of cards, which is like events that happen, and then you've got to try to counter it with whatever you've got in your hands, obviously for the different people that are playing. And yeah, just try not to get swarmed. Which,
I sold my copy and I shouldn't have done that.
You shouldn't have done that. Oh, no. It's very dramatic because the top part's like a corridor, isn't it? So the aliens are moving down this corridor,
Yes.
which are hitting your senses, sort of like boop, 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 and then you're like, whoa, let's get excited. And you have to reveal, you spend cards to reveal what the sensors are saying and what aliens they are. It's just such
everything's
I love that.
Everything's beeping at you, and then you reveal it. There's nothing there. You're like,
Yeah.
you bastard.
and you miss the whole turn. But yeah, it's very, very, very good.
Yeah.
And I'm not mentioning it again because I've mentioned it a few times, but the face hugger bit's great.
Yeah.
When it goes into the deck.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you just wait for it to, once you've got it in your hand, you're dead.
Yeah.
But then you just hoping it's at the bottom of the deck, so you've got that time just to help. Yeah,
Great
so
game.
good. Yeah, we love that one. It's good.
Spawned many other different versions of that game, but that one was ultimately the best.
Yeah, very, very good. Okay. So another good one I like, and I thought it was right at the end actually, was Dracula.
Fury of Dracula.
Fury of Dracula.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've played that a few times, haven't we, Kelly? And we've mentioned on the podcast a lot, so we won't go too much into it, but that's quite theoretical. It's the old school Dracula, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean,
Probably.
kind of. It reminded me more of a book that I'd read called The Historian.
Right.
This is what I looked at Fury of Dracula and I thought actually it's not very much like the film, but it is based on the characters obviously and everything else. But the way it plays is very similar to The Historian, where basically the idea of The Historian was that Dracula spent his entire modern life, like what would Dracula be like if he was actually real now? And it's basically just him running away and evading capture and people like trying to get him and find clues about him and just kind of like basically trying to
he wouldn't be able to settle down and chill out at any time.
Exactly. It wasn't a conventional horror book at all. It was more based on that. So, and I feel like Fury of Dracula is kind of like that, despite the title, is that as Dracula, you spend your entire time running and trying to be clever and outwit them rather than anything else.
Yeah. So that was another one, I think. Jaws. I'm going to mention Jaws, the board game. Have you played that, Kelly?
No.
So I didn't
was
have you
kind of
played Chris,
interested
'cause I know
by
Chris
it,
did a
but
few.
The reviews were a little bit mixed, so
Right,
I never
okay.
actually gave it a proper go.
So I've actually got Jaws, and I think it's a very good value for money board game. You can pick it up for 15 quid if you find it luckily. So the first bit, you're the hidden player, you're the Jaws. So one person is Jaws, so the shark, and it's hidden movement. So the first scenario,
I hope so. It's under the bloody water.
yeah. So it's all hidden, and you got all these little lilo people on lilo, so you eat from the beach. Great. And they all go in the little areas, and there's always this card, a counter card when you do it, and tells you where to spawn them. So the idea when you're the shark, you've got to try and eat as many people as you can so you become powerful for the next scenario, on the next half of the game. And then obviously when you got three people trying to find you, which is, I'm trying to remember the names now. So who are the three characters?
Oh, God, I can't
Rudy.
remember.
Anyone know?
It
Jaws
was,
fans?
I watched it a while ago, but
I haven't seen it for a very long time.
But you got three characters, and I wish I could remember the name of them, but I'm terrible with names.
one of them was Brody, wasn't
Brody,
it?
yeah,
that
Brody.
was the main police guy.
Yeah.
I
Brody's
don't
definitely
remember
one
the
of them.
captain or the scientist, who no doubt were the other two.
Yes.
But I don't remember the names.
Oh, no, I can't remember them either. But anyway, so you got two people on boats. One's on a speedboat. One's on like a big boat. You drop barrels, so you can put barrels to do sonars to find out where the shark is. And their part. And there's one guy on the island, and he's to place fuel for the boats, so you get fuel to get round. I mean, for such a little game, it's so much fun. And then obviously you're trying to find the shark as quickly as possible so it doesn't get as powerful as the next scenario. So when you've done that and you go on to the second scenario, you're on a boat. And then as the jaws, you choose which part of the boat you're going to appear to bite to either eat someone if you can or bite part of the ship. And if the other guys pick the right destination where you think jaws are going to pop up, they get to fire their weapons and you get to kill them. It's just so much fun. And it's very thematical to the film, I think.
Nice.
Yeah. So Jaws is a hell of a nice little mix-up on that one, in my opinion. All right. So, yeah. Any other games anyone wants to mention?
Probably one of the hardest games I've ever played, which is a board game based on a TV show / movie, which is based on a video game. Resident Evil. Resident Evil 2.
Don't get me started on this.
That is one of the single hardest games I've ever played, but I loved every minute of it. It's brilliant.
Yeah, but I think that the Resident Evil game is based off the game of the computer, not the movie.
All right, fine.
Or the film. Sorry.
Fun.
Not allowing it.
He's not allowing it.
It is a hard game, though.
Fun sponge. Take it all away.
No, it is a good game, but it's very thematical to the game.
It is nails. But the production quality is poor.
Oh yeah, but it's great.
And I kickstarted both the second one and the third one. Obviously, the first one came out after that. I'm a massive Resi fan. Have been since birth. And I was disappointed.
Came out doing a zombie impression or something, did you?
I came out just literally saying stars.
Stars.
Nice. No, I was disappointed with it. In a few aspects. I just think it was just a bit meh, and it was very difficult.
Yeah.
And I wish they released the first one first rather than the second one, which I thought was a bit odd.
No, it's fair.
But yeah, I wanted to love it. But if you want to play a good Resident Evil game, then the Resident Evil deck building game is actually not bad.
Okay.
It was made by Bandai. Came out years ago, and if you want to try and get a copy of it now, you're probably looking at about 200 quid. This is massively out of print. I had it and sold it like an idiot.
Nice recommendation, Dan.
You seem to do this quite a lot, Dan. Get good games, sell them, and then you wish you never.
I shouldn't have. I mean, the game is it's not mind blowing, but if you're a Resi fan, then it's great. It's a good one to have in your collection.
Yeah. So sorry, Chris.
No, it's fine.
Fine.
Can I do another one then?
Yeah, go for it.
How about the Back to the Future, Back in Time game?
Oh yeah, you did play that with me. Yeah, that's a good word for mention. Again, it's not a great game.
No, it's not.
No,
but it was enjoyable for the.
If you like the movie, which I love the movie,
it
was a little great game. Yeah, you got the board and you got the clock tower in the middle. Stacked up. It's supposed to be the dice tray, but it kind of gets in the way when you roll a dice through it. So we never.
Yeah, it just falls apart.
It just hits all the other characters off. So,
so
but you have got the DeLorean
in the field. No idea. It's gone now. It's dice knocked out of the way.
But the little DeLorean cart's cool. That goes around it.
Yeah, fueling that bad boy up and getting him around, getting all the parts. And then fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah, and you got Biff, who just keeps.
Absolutely not.
And actually, he looks kind of like a stalker.
He hates manure.
Yeah, he hates manure. Yeah,
I love Back to the Future. Yeah. It's just amazing.
And I say it's a bad game. You should, if you like Back to the Future, just play it for about. You can do it within an hour, I reckon. I think Kerley broke it straight away.
How did you break it?
What did I do?
Well, you just seem to have you got all the items and then comboed with your dice, and anything he did, he just completed it really. He could do because he had the good combos.
Oh, he curlied it.
He curlied it. Yeah, 100%.
I get picked on around here.
But I like to say, Dan. I think I know you like your Euro, so it's if you like a fun ball game, you want to just do it now, and you like the movie that much, it's worth playing. It's definitely worth having a little snip on.
One day when I'm at a convention and someone has it, you never know, I might peer around and have
I'll probably bring it at one point, and if it's there, it's there. But it's even got the little photo that fades. That's the whole point of the game. So if it goes, so you got these little tires that makes that photo.
I like that.
And then you turn it and it fades. So it kind of by the time if it all fades, the game's over.
Game's over. I like that. That's neat.
Yeah, I thought it was quite thematic.
It is very thematic.
I don't think it's a very good game. If I'm
honest.
It wasn't. No, I 100% agree.
It's worth a play just if you like the movie.
Exactly. Yeah, I didn't dislike playing it. It was just like, that's cool.
I know because you was like, "What's this?" It's Back to the Future. Yeah, I'll give it a go, didn't you? And it was good fun. I thought that one.
You do. Biff is a total stalker in that.
He is. He looks like a stalker.
He's creepy. His little figure is creepy.
Yeah,
he's like a little hunch.
And his whole part of the game is just to follow.
And he just goes after. I can't remember her name now.
Oh no! It's again names of characters. The mum and dad.
The mum.
George.
That's it. George and
Lorraine.
Yeah, every turn it's move 3 steps towards Lorraine.
I love that.
And then it's like, oh, what's the event card coming out? Move again towards Lorraine. If he captures her, he makes the love go away, and then the photo disappears, and then there's game over.
I think he took his wallet. But
yeah, no, it's good fun. The characters, you can be the dog and the doc. Yeah.
Einstein.
It's good. Einstein's one of the characters.
I was
one of
the
the characters is the wog, which is quite cool. Yeah. Were you the dog?
I was the dog.
You were the dog.
I would have been up for it if like one of the characters was the case of plutonium. But
Yeah, so that's great shot, that one. Yeah. There you go.
I've got another little one as well, if you don't mind. So me and Becky like this one, and it is a really good player, two or three players, I would say, is Hogwarts Battle.
I had that written down, so I'm glad you mentioned that because I was going to,
It's it's a great game, deck builder for the most part, and I think it's quite thematic, although it's fairly light on kind of. There's no board and there's no, but you go through the different years that he's at Hogwarts, and every year the enemies get harder. Like in the first year, you've got to fight like Draco and Crab and Goyle and things like that. The first movie here, and then later on you do get Voldemort from year 4, and you start getting the characters from the Triwizard Tournament, and each year is a different scenario really, and you're defeating them, and while they're trying to corrupt it and take over, and it feels quite thematic. It's quite a good deck builder. I think there's some small flaws in the game, but I think you can fix them with a couple of house rules.
Yeah, I think
the biggest problem is the shop doesn't move. So where you buy the cards from, if you get a few bad cards in there, people don't want to stack their deck with a load of rubbish, so they just end up sat there, and then they don't ever go. They don't ever go. So a few games have this problem actually, but for example, Dune Imperium fixed that with just giving a token to every player, and you can use it once per game, clear the shop out. So we do that basically.
Yeah,
nice.
So
I'm
very good game.
It's very light to start with.
Yes,
like first
does
couple.
Pick up.
Yeah, it does pick up. After the first couple of years, it starts to get going. But you got to invest the time in those a couple of years first. But from year 4, it already starts to sort of mount up.
My biggest problem actually with it is the fact that it doesn't balance very well with players. So at 2-player, it's very difficult. A 4-player, it's very, very easy.
Yes, there's no balance mechanism. No, okay.
No. There kind of is in the fact of it shouldn't really matter, because basically the enemies get a go after everyone else's turn. But if you've got 2 people synergizing, it's very difficult. It's very difficult with all their special powers and everything else. It's just you can really notice the difference.
Yeah,
but literally 4, you're almost guaranteed to win. 2, almost certainly not. So it's just one of those.
Interesting.
Yeah, the challenger.
On the challenge, yeah, nice.
No.
Do you face a troll in the dungeon?
I can't remember actually.
That should be in the first year.
I thought you'd like to know.
Yeah. I can't remember what they all are, but
I can't remember now.
I don't remember there being a troll in the dungeon. I'll be honest, but you do get matey boy with Voldemort on his head. What's his name?
Professor Quirrell.
Quirrell. Yeah, you do get him, and
I think we fought Professor Quirrell when we played it. We played it at UK.
Yeah, we would have gone. You pretty much go through all of the ones.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. Really enjoyed that. We played a 4-player, like you say, but I didn't. It's the first time I ever played it, so I didn't understand if it was easy or not. But now you mention it. Okay, nice. You must have another, Chris.
No.
I've got one you should mention, because this is actually a series now.
Okay, proceed.
No, Fallout.
It was based on a video game.
Yep.
There's a TV show about it. You ruled out my one the other day earlier. It wasn't another video game one.
Yeah, but Fallout.
But the series. Well, if you want
this one, Tambo wants to talk about. So that's what he's about.
No, I'm letting you talk about it. I've just
Fallout.
If you want a TV series that's so in tune with the video game environment, then it's that one.
Which is the board game is based off Fallout. That's why I think it does work.
Fine, yes. If you want me to talk about it, I can talk about it. Yes, Fallout is a very, very good game that I've now acquired from multiple sources. Thank you, Dan.
You're welcome.
But yeah, brilliant sort of co-op / semi-co-op, depending on how you want to play it with the rules and whichever expansions you want to include with it. The TV show does it justice for obviously for the video game as well. But yeah, it's great little sort of explore, move, objective, equip yourself up, level up, away you go. So yeah, it's good. I like that one.
Yeah. So is it thematic to the series?
Yeah.
100%.
100%.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to do one class. Dan, sorry. Actually, do you have any more? Do you think?
I'm trying to sort of rack my brain as to any ones that I believe that are decent.
Well, it doesn't have to be decent, mate. To be honest, we could. I actually think on average, board game movies like related to board games, the games aren't amazing.
No.
I think
I find that most of them aren't.
No.
So there needs to be a pretty darn good reason for me to sort of to pique my interest. I mentioned Terminator, and obviously Terminator 2 being my favorite game. I think they did try and do a Terminator board game once. I can't remember too much about it, but I know that when I looked, it did not look fantastic at all. So Saw, I've mentioned Saw on the podcast a couple of times. I'm a massive Saw horror fan. I love Saw. I'm not in it for the blood and guts and gore. I'm in it for the kind of the twists and turns of the decent storyline that it portrays. But they made a board game about it. Wow. And this is what I talked about on a previous episode with that and the fact that Jumanji is very similar, where I'm going to roll some dice and I'm going to expect a stampede of rhinos to come through my lounge, only to be then mortally disappointed because it can't happen. And with Saw, it's going to be no different. Oh no, I'm going to roll some dice and then I'm going to be in a trap that I need to now cut my own leg off. No, I can't do it. So thematically, it's complete. It's just no. Just no. And unfortunately, a lot of mass-produced board games that have an IP tie-in are very much like that. So that's why I kind of turned off. A lot of the games that you're mentioning are games where they are either like 1 versus 4, or they're fully co-op,
or
they're Ameritrash games. So they try and push on the theme. And because I'm more Euro-leaned, it's not so many that I would go and play and go, yes, this is absolutely amazing. But I've got lots to say about them because I've played quite a few. If I was to, I'm really, really kind of like being picky here. There's been talks for years now that they're going to do a Gears of War movie. They really should do it. If you really, I know it's not out yet, but the Gears of War board game by FFG was really good. Yeah. So it's showing its age now, but it was really, really good. Again, a co-op.
It's on my list to play.
I saw them.
So surprising me, I haven't played it.
Have you got it?
No, it's on my list to play.
Yeah.
It being one of my favorite video game of all time. But then
same.
Just never got around to it.
It's really good. Again, it's showing its age, but it's a very diluted version of Descent. Some people would probably disagree with that, but there's a lot of duck and cover elements in it, which you'd normally find in obviously Gears of War, especially in the first couple of games. So it's got a lot of that. The miniatures are really, really nice. The component quality is nice. They only made one print-on-demand pack for it, which came out afterwards, which goes for silly money if you can actually find a proper copy of it, and so does the base game as well. It's because it's massively out of print. And yes, I did have it, and yes, I sold it.
No, not good.
But again, I'm really I'm picking now because there's no movie out yet. But one day there might be.
I'm going to allow this because I love Gears of War.
No, nice.
I'm just getting evil from Chris. Yeah,
nice. But then again,
house ruling it.
Yeah. House ruling it. Bioshock. It's got a Netflix adaptation coming soon. There's only one Bioshock game that I know of, which is Bioshock Infinite, Rise of Columbia, and it's terrible. Well, it's not terrible. It's meh. It's okay. Made by Plaid Hat Games. It's meh. It's of its time. It doesn't stack up very well now. I own that. I still own it. It's on my shelf, but it's not something I get to the table often.
I saw Gears of War, but they're playing it in the full board game weekend. There's a whole table, and it all laid out. And it looked amazing.
It is.
I couldn't get in because it was already full, but it did look good.
It is good. Like I said, it's showing its age, but it's really nice, and it does have a theme. It's got a decent theme. Yeah. The miniatures are so pretty.
Yeah, nice. Okay. So I'm going to give a quick one last shout out to a movie, to a board game. Now it's my favorite game. It's Die Hard Nakatomi Heist, the board game.
Oof.
Yeah. Now I bought it because I thought I was new to the group and I was new to the hobby, and I thought I really love Die Hard. Well, they got a Die Hard game, and they did. So I thought I'll just buy it. I'll just get it. It's not great. And I actually haven't brought it to the group. I haven't played it in the group, but I don't want to do it because I think in my back end it's not a great game. But if you love Die Hard, it's a bit of fun. So one person plays as John McClane, and the other three are the heist. So the other three are trying to crack the code for the safe. So John McCain's got, I haven't played it for a while now, but he's got to go around and do his objectives. And the other three are just trying to play cards to try and crack the code in the safe, and you write it down. And after every turn, one person plays Hans Gruber. And that's like the move player turn. So one person on their turn, if they got all four players, is Hans Gruber. So you get to move the other bad guys around the Nakatomi Heist in the thing. It's very poor quality of, if you think what's it going? You didn't like the poor quality figures.
Resident Evil.
That's it. If you think that was bad, this is really bad. So literally all the guys are just these little red men. And you've got Hans Gruber, who's the little black guy.
Are they plastic or are they wooden?
They're plastic.
They're plastic.
Oh, yes. And then John McClane, who's like white, and it's pretty poor. And the board looks so boring.
It's the sculpts for Resident Evil that annoyed me. Like Barry Burton does not look like Barry Burton. No. If you're going to do a game with an IP, they've got to look right.
Yeah. Do you at least get to say quotes from the movie?
Yeah, well, so on the back of the cards, they've got all the quotes. It's got like, ho, 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 now I've got a machine gun. And it's good fun. It is quite good fun. You've got a whole scenario where you've got to break the glass because of the feet. And the last scenario is him with the crowd on the roof. So John McClane's obviously get the crowd down. And so they're trying to move the crowd. When you're the bad guy, you're trying to remove the crowd so they stay up there. It's got all the film fanatics in it.
It's all included then, yeah.
Yeah, so. It's not a great game. But yeah, I just like to mention it because I got it and I've really never played it with a group. So
it sounds terrible.
I haven't sold it. It's all about.
I have no interest in playing.
I'm gonna put an event up and no one will play it. So
nice.
Yeah, no, I'm just gonna give a shout out to that one. So yeah, so I think we're gonna pretty much wrap it up after that, guys. If you want to leave any of your comments on any of the films, you think of any really good films, movies, or scenario, TV series to games, just let us know. Yeah,
find me a good one.
Yeah, we've told you some good ones.
Find me like an amazing one.
Yeah,
War of the Ring. I probably would.
And
I really should give
Find
it
down
a
a
go.
good one so we can sell
Rebellion was fantastic. Rebellion is fantastic. To be fair.
Before we finish off, I'd like to say my piece about I think a good thematic board game based on a TV series or a film really adds to a board game for me.
Right.
And I know we've covered a similar sort of thing in our theme episodes before, but it's worth mentioning again at this point. I think that a good one adds a lot to how I get into a board game. What do you guys think? Does it have much for you? Or
What, a theme?
Yeah.
Yeah, the theme, yes. Yeah.
if it's based around some of your favorite movies and stuff like that, would you guys have liked Marvel Champions as much if it was about something else?
No.
Probably not.
No.
Yeah. It's interesting.
It's a good point because if you have an IP, then whether you're a board gamer or not, it's going to pique people's interest. But if we're board gamers and it's going to pique your interest, then you're going to go, okay, I'm going to look into this further. But then if you don't have that IP, then you have to rely on aesthetics, how it looks, and potentially initial mechanics. But with an IP, it's bang, straight away. Okay, it's this. Okay, I like this. I know I like this because I've watched all the movies. I'm going to, and I'm going to go and get it.
That's exactly what I did with Die Hard. I love the movies. I thought I want the board game.
Yeah.
But yeah, you are right, Kerley. I think...
Yeah, it's a good prompt to get you to play the game, but whether or not you like it, obviously, it's down to personal preference. But
yeah,
you can get let down a lot more.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you can
that's
go,
very true.
Oh, it's going to be great. Oh, it's crap.
Yeah, and you're like, I love this movie, but the board game's like, it's like a bit like the Die Hard game. It's like, it's a shame.
Before we leave this whole genre, it would upset JP greatly if we didn't mention Captain's Chair.
Okay, so I love to play it. I haven't played this yet.
Yeah, Captain's Chair is an absolutely amazing game, mostly by David Turtsey.
Did you get to play it at the Mini?
No, I didn't because I was busy playing other things. And me and JP, I decided to teach JP Slay the Spire instead, basically. But yeah, it's an absolutely fantastic game. The idea, again, I won't go through Captain's Chair. We've talked about it loads, but it's just, it's based on the Star Trek universe. And the idea is that you are in a simulator and you play the different captains and go through different scenarios. And 1v1 kind of deck builder / buying stuff. And yeah, it's an amazing game.
Do you explore? Or kind of, or is it just more of...
Not you technically do, but it's a very limited way.
Right, okay.
So there are planets in the middle, and you go and kind of send away teams to these planets.
Right, okay.
You essentially capture these planets. They call it. I forget what they call it. Like taking control, basically. But yeah, so thematically lightly. But yeah, not true. What I would call I don't know, eclipse exploration or something.
No.
that. So
have you played Imperium Classics?
I have. Yes.
Is there a lot of direct comparison between the two?
Yes.
A lot.
Yes.
Yeah. So I've played Imperium Classics. Now I've finally played it. I played it a few weeks ago, and I really enjoyed it.
Don't get me wrong. It's specifically designed to have differences to it.
Yeah.
But it is very, very deliberately using the same game mechanics.
Yeah.
There are changes. There are things that, for example, it's a 2-player only.
Yes.
Designed that way. And they've tidied up some of the end game turns and some of the admin on the turns. and changed a lot of the exploration stuff, and there's a lot of differences, but I think you can definitely see. I would say 70% of it is deliberately identical.
Yeah, because the end of round to clean up on Imperium classes is quite bitty, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's what they've kind of got rid of.
Yeah.
So there's much less of that.
The only thing for me is it's Star Trek. I'm not a Trekkie. Which makes me think I'm probably just, would stick with Imperium.
But if you like space game, I think it's a superior game, if I'm honest.
I do like space, though. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's probably the better game of the two.
Nice.
It's like, again, the IP thing. Okay, so I played Imperium with JP once. I didn't get on with it too much. So, I know it's very similar, and I really want to play Star Trek because it's Star Trek.
Because it's Star Trek, yeah.
So I really want to give it a go.
Yeah.
So it's that IP thing.
See, I wanted to play. No, because I played Imperium knowing about Captain's Chair, not having much of an interest in Captain's Chair, even though I like sci-fi but don't like Star Trek. But Imperium is civilization, and I love civilization games. So that's what I'd rather play that, and I did enjoy it. Although when I looked at the box of Captain's Chair, I did look at it and going, it does actually look quite good for a Star Trek game.
Yeah, it's not quite good. It's really.
It's that good.
It's really good.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, definitely want to play it, and it's definitely on my list one to play. Okay, so we're going to wrap it up now. If you'd like to say, if you've got any opinions on any movie games that you love and you want to share, please let us know. Let's go on to the next segment. So let's move on now. We're doing receive, sleeve, or leave. Or and leave segment. Okay, so I'm going to give you 3 games, and then you're going to decide which one. So we're going to go with Star Wars Rebellion, Game of Thrones, and Dune Imperium. Those are the 3 games. Let's start with Chrissy, because he's not played any of these, so this is going to be fun for him.
I don't know.
That's a lie, because I've played Game of Thrones.
Have you?
Yes.
I didn't.
I have played it twice, and I got absolutely shooed in every time I played it.
Well, that's the last time I played. I got shooed in, mate. I know how you feel.
So that's fine. And I hear there's a TV show about it, but we forget about that. So
every time you say that,
Dan wants to kill you.
I know.
an angel falls from the sky.
That's fine. It's going to be empty soon. So I would probably, based on what I've seen of, obviously, I'm going to leave Game of Thrones just because I suck at it anyway, so it's fine. To sleeve, so to keep nice and tidy, probably would be Dune.
My gift. Dune.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it would be Dune. It's a beautiful game. All the parts look. I'm one of the people that I have to keep things nice and tidy anyway.
Okay.
So yeah, it would, and I've watched people play it. I've seen playthroughs of it online because I want to learn it, and I haven't had a chance to play it. So I know I will probably enjoy it. Mm-hmm. So I will do that one. I'll sleeve that one to keep it nice and neat. And then the other one I've already forgotten. Rebellion. Yeah, I'll receive that. That's fine. Star Wars game, happy. I'll keep that. I'll have that. Yeah,
I actually think you would like Star Wars.
So that's fine by me.
Yeah.
And then Game of Thrones can sort of wander out the door. It's fine.
Okay, makes sense. Dan?
I would sleeve Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Just because of the memories. Mm-hmm. I've had so many good memories of that game. I would be happy to receive Dune Imperium because I love the theme. It's more worker placement, I love worker placement, so I'm all over that. And I would leave Rebellion. That's not because I don't like Rebellion. I do like Rebellion, but I've played enough of it. Okay. So out of those 3, Rebellion would have to leave. I'd rather play TI with more players.
Okay. All right then. Kerley?
It's actually really tough because these are 3 of my favourite games.
I know. Yeah. You have to leave one of them, though.
Yeah.
You can't do it.
Okay.
All right. Him struggle so much.
This is really
There's
tough.
smoke out the ears
because they're all really even as well. Like if it was War of the Ring, you'd go like, well, War of the Ring's got to be in. But okay, all right. I guess we sleeve Dune Imperium.
Ooh, I
Really?
didn't see that one. Okay.
I think with the reimagining, you know, the tidying up with the new edition. I forget what it's called now. Uprising. Yeah, I think it probably pushes it a little bit over. Yeah, a little bit over. And I got to be honest, I would have probably said this the other way round previously, but our Game of Thrones I really enjoyed recently. So I'm going to
receive Game of Thrones.
So we'll go with let's get it around the sleeve. Dune, Imperium, Uprising, probably. I will say receive Game of Thrones, and that means that I would
Leave Star Wars.
Leave Star Wars. I love Star Wars, guys, by the way, but I've just played it the least out of all of them. And it's more difficult. I would say Game of Thrones is just one of them that I would say with a lot of people, Game of Thrones, I would put at the bottom there. But we played a really quick game and it impressed me how quick it can play if you've got people who actually know what they're doing. So it went up a few notches for me in the last couple of months.
Told you so.
He did tell me so.
Okay, so for me, I'm going to sleeve Dune. I do love Dune as well.
Another one.
Yeah, I got to be honest.
Surprised at this.
Yes. And the only reason is because I love Dune and I'll definitely sleeve and keep it. I will receive Star Wars just because it's the most expensive game out of the lot, right?
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not cheap.
So someone's giving it to receive it as a gift.
Money grabber Tambo.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just thinking of the money. And then I'll have to leave Game of Thrones, but I do love it, but I'm going to have to leave it just due to my last game of it, to be honest. Dan. Thanks, Dan.
I don't know what you're
got better shafted.
Yeah.
I was nearly eliminated. I would have been in like two more rounds. Jack was going to really, he was going to, yeah. I was nearly in tears.
You had a really
Wasn't
good
nearly in
game.
tears.
You had a really great game.
Crying.
So yes, that's the order of me, and that's the reason.
You did get a shoe in.
Yeah, I did get a shoe.
Yeah.
Right, so let's move on to the next segment. Right, let's move on to the penultimate turn. So what we guys got coming up doesn't have to be board game related. It can be anything you like. Cullington.
Well, okay. So I will say Battlestar Galactica.
Yes, that's a good show.
I was gonna say the Island of Angels that we got tomorrow night,
Yep.
but actually I don't know too much about it, and
Okay.
just looking forward to getting around yours and playing a game because it's been a little while.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, so I'll say Battlestar Galactica. Really looking forward to getting everyone together and just playing that again because it's going to be basically in the calendar. I think once a year, this sort of time of year.
Yes.
Who's playing?
Lots of us. I couldn't
yeah,
get in because it
it's-
fell up so quickly I couldn't get in. Even though I actually am off that Saturday night.
Yeah, it looks
So hopefully,
like
if someone
we've
drops
got
out, I'll offer them.
Rob, Adrian, Becky, JP, Davey, and myself.
Oh, nice. Nice. Have fun.
Thank you.
Sounds good.
Cool. Dan?
I have recently set up a Perseverance Chronicle mode.
I saw that on your group, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, the game's been out a while, but I've never done a Chronicle run in its current state. I mean, some people would say you should probably wait for 3 and 4. And I'm like, yes, I probably should wait for 3 and 4, but I wanted to play it as it stands now because I've never done it. Where you play episode 1 twice, episode 2 twice, with Chronicle bits thrown in the middle. I've not done it. I want to do it, so I've done it, and then I can then redo it again with all the adjustments when 3 and 4 come out. Just trying to get my money's worth of the game, really. Just trying to trying something different with it and seeing how it goes. But I've got a small group for that to do that 4 times, and looking forward to that.
Yeah, good. Kerley and I have done it, we did the Chronicle mode, didn't we?
Yes, mate. Yeah,
It was good. It was really good. I think you whipped it, didn't you? I think, if
Yeah,
I remember
I
correctly.
think
You went really far ahead, and then it was hard to catch up.
I think the first scenario I went significantly ahead,
Yeah.
and then it was I think JP nearly quit at that point. To be honest.
yeah, it was.
Do you remember we had to redo the first scenario?
Oh, because he did the wrong player count on it, didn't he? Because he
Yeah.
did it player 3 side, didn't he? And,
Yeah.
Player 4 side. I can't remember what
So
it
we
was.
had
Something
to
like
play
that.
5 games.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. It was really good, Dan. You really enjoyed it, Dan. It's good.
Yeah.
The only bit of advice I would give you, Dan, with it is don't concentrate on winning.
No.
So what I mean by that is the actual base game you still play through like normal, but actually it doesn't count for anything.
No.
So just concentrate on getting the campaign things for the
Yeah.
goals. I forget what they
I
call
can't remember the
Glory, is it? Glory?
Yeah, it's been a couple of years.
Yeah.
But yeah, just winning the main game is actually a difficult habit to get out of.
Yeah.
Just trying to go for those VPs, just don't worry.
No. Okay. Nice. Good to know.
Nice. Chrissy.
This weekend, myself, Rob, and I believe Davey's going to be joining us. Is going to be playing a 1 too few many bones.
Yes.
So that'll be good. Played it on the 12-hour, and Rob was like, "We got to do the really big, long, extended version." So I was like, "Okay, let's do it." So yeah, that's going to be great. So yeah, fantastic. Looking forward to that.
I think Rob mentioned that when he looks for what's coming up.
Yeah, I think he's
looking forward to it.
He's going to be stealing a bunch of characters from JP as well, so we'll have more choice because
Nice.
Rob's only got the base.
I'm actually looking forward to, and you haven't put me on as going yet, by the way, is when you play, see if I pronounce it right, Ikeon?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm really I'm glad you brought that one up because I really want to play that again. So I know it's a while away yet, but I'm really looking forward to playing that.
I shall sort it out for you now, mate.
Thanks, mate.
But yeah, it's a great game, actually. Really good game. Very underrated, actually. But
Again, it's one of those ones we don't get to table enough, I think, personally.
yeah. Have you played it before then?
Yes, I have. A long time ago. The one we last played at Kerley, I think, which was probably a long time ago.
Yeah, I got into it over COVID, actually, where we had a really limited amount of people who could actually play together and have in the same house and stuff. And obviously me and JP were having the board game itch, but you couldn't have anyone else round. So, yeah, that's what we played. And it plays really well at 2-player as well, which is cool. So, yeah, love it.
Oh, you got a 3-player, haven't we?
Yeah, I think that's probably the ideal number, to be honest.
Cool. So, full. Yeah, full. Right, yeah, so great. Awesome. So let's wrap it up. So if you enjoyed the show, please like and subscribe on our podcast player of choice. Also, if you want to support the show and become a subscriber to help shape our future content, you can visit our page on Ko-fi. If you want to get in contact with all those details, they're on the bottom of our show notes or our website. So thanks for listening, and whose turn is it?